The Oklahoma Sooners lost a player to the transfer portal. We'll discuss him coming up next here on Locked On Sooners.
You are Locked On Sooners, your daily podcast on the Oklahoma Sooners. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Thanks again for making Locked On Sooners your first listen every single day. Shout out to all the everydayers out there tuning in. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Went to a wedding over the weekend, Jay, and got to meet several Locked On Sooners everydayers, Marty and Marshall. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate you all making sure you said hello. Shout out to Matt as well. Another everydayer that I got to meet at the wedding too. So it was a group of Locked On Sooners everydayers at this wedding. So it was a fun time to talk ball and talk Oklahoma football. Jay, the Oklahoma Sooners lost another player to the transfer portal. Devon Mitchell was the first of the spring portal session. Now Mikel Patterson-McDonald has also announced his intentions to enter the transfer portal, which officially opens on the 16th.
And that checks out for kind of how the room has been going. Mikel Patterson-McDonald has been dealing with some injuries at the beginning of his career here. And as some reports that I was reading or whatnot. And since that, he kind of started to fall in the depth chart. And so the opportunity to play has been pretty limited because that room is pretty stacked. It's probably the most stacked room in Oklahoma has been Brandon Hall and all the stuff he's done in that safety room. So I totally understand it. Even adding to that, it's kind of like with Day McCullough when he was here. That was one of the problems for him. He dealt with some lingering injuries, and he just could not get on the field with everybody else. And so Day ended up transferring, went to Louisville, and so I know he's doing well, and I expect good things out of him also. So I'm kind of seeing the same thing with Mikel Patterson-McDonald. It's just unfortunate that when injuries make you fall down in the depth chart, you got to keep working and hopefully get there. But somebody's going to pick them up and get themselves a really good player.
Yeah, I really like his game. I think he's one of those dudes that plays bigger than what he's listed at. Yeah. You know, I think he's like a 5'10", 5'11" guy, but he plays like he's somebody who's 6'2". He's just a playmaker. And so he'll get opportunities, but you're right, man. The safety room is stacked. It's as deep as any position group on the team. It might be the deepest safety room in college football. Will it be the best safety room in college football? We'll see. But from top to bottom, when you've got guys like Robert Spears-Jennings and Peyton Bowen and Michael Boganowski, and we're going to still consider Reggie Powers III as a safety, even though he's playing Cheetah as well. And Jaden Hardy's been making a lot of noise in fall or in spring ball. Omarion Robinson is another player that I think everybody's really, really excited about, as well as Marcus Wimberly. It's a really, really strong group. And Brandon Hall doesn't show any signs of slowing down on the recruiting trail, and they'll continue to get deeper. MPM, I think, would have been a solid option in like a nickel role, playing some of that kind of a role, but it just seemed like it wasn't going to work out for him at Oklahoma. But again, like you mentioned, somebody's going to take a chance on him, and somebody's going to get a really impactful player for their defense.
Yeah. And just with the coaching that he's received from Brandon Hall, that's going to give him a nice step up to be able to compete for some spots. So we'll see where he goes. Good luck to him. Hopefully he lands. Hopefully he can land locally, right? He can land somewhere here in Oklahoma where it's easy to get going. Heck, North Texas would be also an awesome landing spot. Someplace he probably could walk in and take somebody's job. He's got the talent for it. It's, now it's just going out there, being healthy and doing. I remember his dad was posting pictures on social media. I think he's posted stuff on X and Facebook, and he's gotten big. Mykel has put on some nice size for his frame to make him be able to be competitive. But again, like we mentioned, that room is stacked, man. That's a really good room. That pickup of Powers, Hardy, and Boganowski, man, that was game changing. And you still got Peyton Bowen and Robert Spears-Jennings right there. That's your five, right? That's five dudes right there. It's going to make it hard to be able to even get into the three deep with Wimberly as well as Omarion Robinson being there, and then Taylor Heim as well as Kendall Daniels that can both play safety as well as linebacker because they're that cheetah role. You got a lot of dudes that makes it tough to be able to get in.
Yeah. And listen, that's going to be the reality. I think not just at safety, but we might see it at other position groups as well, where the depth has gotten so much better that you're going to have some of these spring ball casualties, so to speak. You talk about camp casualties with reference to the NFL, and they have to start cutting guys. This could be one of those situations where we start seeing guys processed a little bit more after spring ball because of the spring transfer portal window, allowing them an opportunity to go find a new home somewhere else. We didn't even talk about the biggest news of the weekend. We might have to do that on tomorrow's show with Nico Iamaleava and what happened with that whole Tennessee imbroglio. We'll discuss that on Tuesday's episode, so you won't want to miss that. Make sure you're subscribed to the show wherever you get your podcasts. We're free and available on all podcast platforms and on YouTube. Subscribe to Unfair Sports over on YouTube as well, and make sure you go check out Jay's channel and follow him on social media at Unfair Sports. You can follow me at John9Williams, and you can read my work covering the Sooners over at SoonersWire.com. The show is at Locked On Sooners on all of your favorite social media platforms. You can also go check out Locked On NFL Draft. The draft is not long from now, so make Locked On NFL Draft your second listen of the day with Damian Parson and Keith Sanchez as your favorite collegiate players. Get ready for the next level. Get the latest draft rankings, rumors, and news every day. Find Locked On NFL Draft on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. But until next time, he's Jay Smith. I'm John Williams. We'll talk to you then. Boomer.
Sooner. Yeah, that Nico stuff is crazy. It's going to be a fun one to talk about.
Yep.
Hey, shout out to Roy McIlroy.
Yeah, big win for Roy.